once in a lifetime. We are the lifeline. Y'all just let your life happen. I'm a right mind. Yeah.
Hey, what's up? This is Off the Top with J Rob, and this is episode 19. And we got Cara Dawn. What's up?
What's up?
How you doing?
I'm delightful, man. How are you?
I'm good.
You're not delightful? I like to say delicious. Weirds people out.
Yeah, I think that's the way I could describe the mood I'm in, I guess.
Delicious?
Yeah, I mean.
Yeah.
Yeah. But so what do you do?
What do I do?
Mm-hmm.
I do many things. I'm a singer, songwriter, rapper, tarot reader, energy healer, model, actor, makeup artist.
Really? So it sounds like you're into a lot of different types of things.
Lots of stuff.
So you're like into like metaphysical healing or something like that, or like spiritual guidance.
Yeah. Tarot cards were kind of like the first medium that I really started with. But then recently I got certified in Reiki, which is energy healing.
That's dope.
And I started feeling inclined to like focus more on energy centers, so like the chakras, throughout my practice, and that has proven to be really rewarding.
So do you think that goes hand in hand with music?
Yeah, I mean, energy is everything. I think music is everything. So yeah, absolutely. You know, I mean, frequencies, vibration, sound. Yeah, absolutely.
So do you think that music can be healing or detrimental towards somebody's health?
Healing, yes. Detrimental, I would have to do some research on that. I mean, I would imagine there may be some shit that might happen with like dissonance, but some people really like to put that shit in their music, and sometimes it sounds good. So
is there good and bad frequencies?
I don't know.
Well, I mean, I think
like I said, I would need to do more research on that.
Yeah, I heard that if you have music at a certain hertz or something, it can change the way that people feel the music, or maybe even make them susceptible to a form of mind control, possibly. But I heard that there's some, I think it's like 444 hertz or something like that. I think that's like the really good one, but I think they do 432. I might be wrong, I'm not sure. But anyways,
432 I think sounds, yeah. I like to listen to shit like that when I sleep too.
Yeah.
So.
Oh, you're talking about like binaural beats or something like that. So what is your primary reason for wanting to make music?
That's just where my heart is, man. It's where it's always been. And I mean, as I've gotten older and kind of stepped into like my other passions, I realized that I want to use music as a means to heal others and myself. Fuck. That's what's gotten me through a lot of things, and I think a lot of people would say that too. I need to stop clicking my fucking water bottle.
Oh, it's fun.
I'm like nervously snapping this fucking thing. Yeah, I mean, I want to help to heal others and myself. I feel like even some songs that like take you into that dark place, like that's a form of healing, because it can be a form of release to really like allow yourself to tap into that and release those emotions. I remember doing that shit when I was like, I think my first big turn on sad music and cry sesh was when I was like 9 or 10 years old.
Wow, that's a long time ago.
Yes, it was a long time ago.
Wow, so do you think that any part of your music, do you think some of that inspiration is through your genes? Do you think people, your ancestors or anybody did music at all, or had any hand in working with music, or do you think this is just like a new thing for your family?
My lineage.
Yeah.
My mom is a part of this gospel group with her 2 sisters and their husbands, called Infinite Grace.
Oh.
So they do, yeah, they do that. But my Uncle Jack, he's not related to me by blood, but he taught me a lot about singing. He's a phenomenal vocalist. To this day, like, I still like to listen to him sing. Love you, Mom, but I can't say the same about you. She knows. She always hits the alto line whenever we're in church. I'm like, Mom, stop. Sing the melody, please.
So that is like
Jesus.
you're a direct descendant of people that are in music. So maybe do you think that that's part of why you're so good is being taught was it a young age where you were taught
Just
it?
observing,
Yeah. Do you think that's also part of the bloodline also though? Like do you think that even if you're totally disconnected from all those people and you never knew them, do you think you would still be doing music, or do you think it's like that direct knowledge and inspiration?
I don't know, man. I think it's my soul's essence.
Yeah.
I think it's my spirit. I think it doesn't really matter where I ended up. I think I would have stepped into it somehow, you know. I would have had different influencing, but yeah.
So where do you see yourself in the next year to 5 years with music?
Dropping hella shit. Dropping so many projects, visuals, finally releasing songs that I've been sitting on for the past 5 years.
Oh wow.
Yeah, I'm like, I don't even resonate with some of this shit anymore. I'm trying to do my best to like tap into that so that I can get these projects out to the public, because I've been too much of a perfectionist to release them. And I've also not been around the right people, but I feel like I am now. So
That's good. So how long have you been doing this?
doing like my music, I started writing, well, I wrote my first song when I was 8, but as far as like getting really serious about being a writer, 2016.
Wow.
Yeah.
So what would you have to say to anybody that wants to do the same thing that you're doing?
Tap the fuck in. Tap in to your true essence, to your truth. Write what you feel and try to make sure that the sound that comes with it acknowledges and evokes those feelings in others as well.
So do you believe in catharsis? Like, do you believe that music is catharsis? Like, you know, like therapy or expression of yourself? I mean, do you believe that can, like, I mean, well, we kind of touched on that, but I mean, to be more in depth with it, do you think that it can, like physically or mentally heal people permanently to a certain degree? Like,
I do. I mean, I won't go like too deep into it, but like I said, everything is frequency, everything is energy, everything is vibrating at a certain frequency. And if we can tune in to the frequencies that are healing, and through that also speak truths in our lyrics, I think the collective consciousness can do nothing but benefit from that.
Interesting. So do you think that music is more of your musical journey, is that more of a path of for yourself, or do you think this is a path to awaken other individuals?
It's both. It definitely, I learn about myself every time I do something with music. Sometimes they're hard lessons too. And then I've gotten feedback from a lot of people over the years about how I've influenced them or their mood or made them cry when I was singing, and that's always crazy to hear. You gave me goosebumps or whatever. I'm like, I did that? Like, this is part of my calling. I have to accept it at that point.
Definitely. That's very interesting. So, do you have any favorite artists, local artists in our area?
Local artists? Oh my God. I could just go down a fucking list. My friend Asha Lacole. My friend Aaron Sawyer. Lovelace. First verse is really good. He popped into my head.
Yeah.
J-Rob. Terry American. KMJ. Gengar. Kick Topless.
All the homies.
Ryan Barnett. Yeah. Well, how do you pronounce the creek name? Is it Vodko? You know what I'm talking about? Ryan Barnett.
I mean, I've heard his name. I saw a post, but
Well, it's Wotko, but I know that the pronunciation is different in Greek. Shout out to you, Ryan, though. I actually grew up with Ryan, and he was a pretty big musical influence for me, along with my cousin, Johnson Barnes. They did, like, screamo, like, hardcore shit.
That's
So
dope.
I was out there at the Pink Eye trying to be tough. I was like I was low-key not feeling it. I was like, can you guys play your emo stuff? I like that better. But yeah, that was fun. But who else? There are more people I know.
well, I'm sure like it's pretty much
Everybody,
yeah,
all of
pretty
you.
much everybody.
Yeah.
I mean, because like there's just too many like good people like in this town, Tulsa specifically. But what's your number one artist in like in the world? What's your number one favorite artist?
That's too hard, man. My number one in the world. God.
Or number two?
Oh no. I mean, Russ is, I really respect him as an artist. I don't want to be cliche, but fucking Beyonce, Rihanna, they're just phenomenal. Like, all the way around, their stage presence, their ability to move on stage and engage the audience, and their vocals, and then like what messages they put out with their music too. I appreciate and I respect that. Yeba as a vocalist.
Mm-hmm. Have you ever heard of Brockhampton?
No.
Oh my gosh, you gotta listen to Brockhampton sometime. All those artists are dope too, but Brockhampton, I'm like, they're
Is
crazy.
that your number one, J-Rob?
I don't know. I mean, possibly. I don't know.
Possibly.
But you should definitely check them out. They're so dope. You would
Hell
love
yeah.
it. And they remind me of like all the stuff that this group is doing and stuff. But I'm curious though, on a bigger scale of the industry, do you believe that people will sell their souls to the industry or to a demonic entity or anything like that? Do you believe in that type of stuff?
I don't know that I could say I believe in it, but I don't count it out.
Yeah.
You know, I mean, I've looked into it. I've gone down the rabbit hole a little bit. It's disturbing, and so I'm like, let me stop fucking looking at this shit.
It's scary. It's very scary.
It is scary.
Would you sell your soul?
Fuck no. Got me fucked up.
Yeah, I feel the same
Absolutely
way.
not.
That's good. I feel like these are good things to know. So like, I mean, what if they offered you everything in the world? Like, what if you could have a palace and all of the great things in the world?
No. That's what they do.
Yeah.
That's what they do. And I mean, I have reason to believe that if that is the case, if that really does happen, that can be delivered.
Yeah.
But my soul?
Yeah, for that?
No.
Never worth it. So do you believe in like,
Fuck that.
do you believe in the devil or like the archetype of the devil?
The archetype of the devil.
I mean, because what else would people sell their souls to?
Yeah.
Not necessarily just the devil himself, but the archetype of that energy.
The energy.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yes.
Yeah, I mean, see, it's like I used to not believe in God, but then eventually one day I saw the devil, and then I believed in the God.
Right.
You know?
Right.
So, and I feel like these are just terms we put on things, you know.
Yeah, to be able to understand and
yeah.
comprehend as humans,
Yeah.
of course.
Just like any other word that we put on something, you know, it's a label. You
But it's
know?
not just some guy that pops up with red horns and shit. Like,
Yeah, it's like
it's a
that.
whole energy.
Yeah, and do you think that do you think aliens exist?
Yes.
Do you think that physical aliens exist?
That's a good question. I don't know. I've never been asked that. I mean, from the shit that I've watched, it's like guys with the fucking big eyes and the stuff.
Yeah.
So I guess, yeah.
So, I mean, do you think that metaphysical aliens exist?
Yes.
So maybe that's more of the aliens that you're thinking about whenever I ask aliens?
It's,
When I
I
say
mean, there's
physical
all
alien,
different
yeah.
types from what I understand.
See-
I haven't like dove into it, but
See, I've heard that, I mean, what I've heard is that there are aliens, you know, but I don't know if they're necessarily in a physical form from another planet. But I feel like they are maybe more of a, like a spiritual thing,
An essence.
Yeah, yeah. And also, though, the physical aliens, if there were aliens, I've heard, would you believe this if I told you this? So, like, I don't know if you ever heard, like, a chimera, like splicing genes of two different organisms or species and putting them together into making a new
hybrid.
Yeah, a new animal. What I've heard is that those are aliens. I mean those exist. I've heard that those exist. They do experiments and basically grow life forms in a lab. This is maybe it's not true, but I heard these chimeras. If there were physical aliens, I think that those would be the best thing that we could actually have evidence for being actual aliens.
Oh shit!
Would you believe that, or do you think that's like bullshit?
I don't know. I wouldn't say it's bullshit. I mean, but that's like news to me. I would have to look into that for sure.
Do you think if they're making those things in a lab and there was like ever an alien invasion, what if those aliens came from Earth? What do you think about that?
You're stressing me out, man.
So you weren't expecting all this?
No! I'm like, you asked me, is there anything you don't want me to ask? This shit. No, I'm just kidding.
Okay, so I have another question. Do you believe in the New World Order? Do you think that's a real thing?
I do.
Who do you think is behind the New World Order?
To be honest, man, I don't know. I've learned some things recently that have caused me to take a step back, and Aaron Sawyer is a good person to ask this shit about.
I already knew you were gonna say his name.
Yeah, he'll randomly tell me some shit and I'll be like, ah! Oh my god. I'm like, now I have to sit with that.
Yeah. And he says it like it's just like, hey, you know this, right? And it's like,
yeah.
Just like I was saying the other thing. He's like, hey, you know this, and it's like something normal to him, and to everybody else we're like, what?
This is a lot. Yeah. I don't know. That's something that I try to not occupy my mental energy with because it stresses me out, hurts my feelings.
Well, I mean, what would the awakening be for if it wasn't for all of that?
I think that, you're right. You're right. I believe that we're stepping into New Earth. I believe that the collective consciousness has already began to evolve. And it's like rapidly evolving. Mm-hmm. And it's kind of, even a 28-year-old person like myself, I feel like, whoa. Like, okay, we're here now. We're taking bigger and bigger steps towards understanding.
Yeah.
And towards love.
So are you a millennial?
I think so.
So I think I'm part of Generation Z. I have a question about that. Why do you think it's called Generation Z?
I couldn't tell you, man. I have no.
Do you know what Z is in the alphabet?
It's the last letter.
It's the last letter in the alphabet.
Ah! Don't say that shit, man.
So what's after Z? What's after the end of the alphabet? Now I know my ABC, maybe they found to sing with me or some shit like that. I don't know.
Next time, won't you sing with me?
Yeah. So.
See.
So I mean, I don't know, but I like throwing in all this extra stuff, because I feel like it makes it more interesting instead of just being like, where are you from? Like, like. I
agree.
Like this is it's like an interview. We're not at the bar. You know what I'm saying? I'm not like, oh, you come here often or something. But see, when I first started this off, I was asking, like, I didn't even know how to ask questions, you know what I'm saying? But now it's like, I feel like it's more of a comfortable environment, and I feel like we can talk, it's more about talking than it is just about asking questions,
Yeah, man. Fuck yeah.
So, where do you plan on traveling at all? Do you plan on doing anything like that? Like, do you want to stay local or do you want to go global?
I mean, global would be cool. I'm gonna take smaller steps and say national first.
Oh yeah.
But of course, yeah, I'd love to tour all over.
What's the first state you want to travel to?
The first state?
That you want to travel to and perform at?
I mean, any of them.
Yeah.
I'll perform anywhere. That's my shit. That's
So
what I
what's the
love to
first
do.
country you would go to? Where would you like your biggest fan base to be other than the United States?
Wherever I resonate. Wherever I resonate with people, man, you know? As far as visiting, I'd love to go to Thailand. Looks beautiful.
That's dope. That's dope.
See some elephants. Love on those babies. I love elephants so much.
So like this is like totally outside of like I'm just asking random questions. All right. So what would you do if somebody dissed you, put a diss track out on you? What would you do?
I'd do a better one.
Dope. Well, that's good insight. That's
Yeah.
good. So
Or beat their ass.
yeah,
Just
that's
kidding.
a good.
I
that's a
probably
good
wouldn't
option,
do
too.
that. You really got to push me to a certain point for me to get physical, but I will accommodate you if I need to.
Well, I wanted to keep going for longer, but it looks like the battery is about to die on the camera. So if you have any quick shout outs you could do in 10 seconds, go for it.
I love all of you guys so much.
All right, and
You're my freaking babies.
this is the last part of this where hopefully it might cut out. It might cut out, and if it does, then it's gonna be okay. We'll just end the episode. But I'm gonna give you 1 minute to rap or sing or whatever you want for 1 minute, starting now.
What?
I
J-Rob!
didn't tell you beforehand.
No, you didn't. I don't even know what to fucking sing. Y'all can just look at my music and follow me on Instagram. Okay?
Where at? What is it?
It's Kara, Kara _Dawn, DAWN _music.
Okay, awesome. And this is
We
off the
posted some
top.
things.
So off the top, number 19. We would have gone for longer, but battery about to die. All right, you up for Kara Dawn? Yeah. Yeah.
Thanks for having me.
Yeah.